Right, so we're going peeps, it's your boy Scully, and I'm here with another special guest. This man here is a cult hero. Whenever Trinidad and Tobago have a bad result, they always tend to see, you see that short man there, that short man they give we a good pong. He currently plays for Dunfermline in the Scottish Championship, and he also has 17 caps for the Soca Warriors. Just as the TV show claims, everybody loves Raymond, and we have Andre Raymond here with us today. So, how are you, Mr. Raymond?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So, of course, we had asked you about the whole time being with the team, the Soca Warriors team from the Unity Cup straight to the Gold Cup. That was like a 1 month. What was that experience like?
I mean, it was a good experience for me, being on the road for that long. I've never been in a camp setting like that and, learning stuff under the new coaches, it was a good experience.
And of course, with Tobago players not being accustomed to so much traveling, was the jet lag affecting many of the players?
Personally, for me, yeah, I felt it a lot. You
Mm.
come off the plane and you just feel sleepy and droopy.
Hmm. Yeah, that way that goes sometimes. But currently you are unbeaten under Dwight York. Every time you start, you tend to be the magic power to get the Trinidad Tobago team. Well, not over the line, but we ain't losing. So we want to talk about your two games in particular, the games against Saudi Arabia and the other game against Haiti. Both games that you started and we would draw 1-1. What was the tactics that the White York himself would have give you to put out on the field?
Well, just go there and play my game, I give defensively and attacking wise. But in those two games I think I had more work defensively to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I just paid, close attention to the attackers and their traits and stuff like that and try to move to suit.
Mm. Are there any like special training that is going towards the defense in particular? We all know that the defense has been leaking, but since your introduction, we tend to hold up a little bit better. But has there been any training that would have improved it?
Yeah, every day in training we work on the defensive role, the communication and stuff like that to, better it. There's always room for improvement.
And like, do you see anything that you guys need to work on in particular?
Yeah, obviously there's always things that we need to work on. Me personally, I think my communication and stuff like that needs
Mhm.
to better a little bit, because sometimes the ball will be on the other side and I'm the one seeing everything and I need to give that shout.
All right, right. Yeah, like if the ball on
Yeah,
card inside, you might use the
yeah,
ball them well to tuck in and then okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Makes sense. And what about Rio Cardines? What do you think about him so far?
Nah, that's my boy. That's my boy. He good player. Fitting well in the team, gel with the boys. Look like he was part of us from the beginning.
Yep. The, the Rio Cardines fit like a glove, man. Like I love it. I really genuinely hope that he reaches ceiling where he's supposed to reach because he have a high ceiling, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's true.
we want to speak about your time in Scotland. How is it like in the Scottish Championship?
I mean, I started off with St. Johnstone and then in January I went on loan. The first 6 months there, I did pretty well for myself.
Mm-hmm.
The fans loved me, the coaches, and then I got a small injury.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back, I made a mistake in a game and
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't play. I didn't
Then
play
come
for a
back
few
on.
games. I didn't play
Uh,
for a few games. I was substituted in the 30th minute of a game.
uh,
Yeah. So it was, first, it was a learning experience and
mm-hmm.
I learned from it. And afterwards I didn't play a few games and then some teams well I wanted to play. I don't like saying no on the bench and stuff, even
Mm-hmm.
if, but I asked to go on loan and ended up going to Dunfermline
Mm-hmm.
in the ending of February. I played the rest of the season there. But it's just a learning experience, learning. Every coach has their opinions and just learning different things, roles, functions on each team. Because, in St. Johnson, I think my role was more attacking really when I went to Dunfermline. I did more defensive work. So it's
Okay.
just adapting to where you go.
Okay. And I heard them mention, the coaches take on who should play and them stuff there, but based on your physical structure, we know that you know you're not the biggest guy, but have
Yeah.
there been any times where you were overlooked for like a selection because of your height?
No,
No? Oh,
no,
okay.
I was never overlooked because I think my aggression and how I
Mm-hmm.
go about the game, they don't really see that fault in my game sometimes, you know. I mean, sometimes there'll be times where the height would come into play,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time I try to adapt and look at the situation where I could, maneuver properly.
Okay, so how did your football journey start? We're talking from grassroots, primary school, straight up to the professional level.
Well, I started off primary school. I went to Ragnan and Road Primary School as a primary school enterprise,
Mm-hmm.
Shogunus. Yeah, I
Okay,
went to that primary school and we had a teacher come in. He's from Crown Trace. And he
okay.
saw me playing. It's called Nicholas Griffith. He's the owner of Crown Trace
I call
Academy.
Nicholas Gifford.
Yeah. And I was playing football, kicking bottle in the schoolyard, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw me and he asked me to come play with the team. And I went there and that's where I started at Crown Trace FC Enterprise. From there I went to Central FC. He was also the coach of Central FC.
Ah,
But
okay.
that's the first year Central FC came out under 13.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I went to Central FC. From Central FC, double connection, no, Jablo, San on Jablote,
Mm-hmm.
then double connection. After, well, I also went to Naprima College. So I was playing school football,
Mm-hmm.
Trinity Colleges also.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I went to America
Okay.
for college. I only
Mm-hmm.
spent one semester there. And then I went to Spain with this academy, Lank Academy.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were doing like playing games against other teams to see if players can get contracts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And end up going over to Portugal to train with SC Braga.
Oh, I see Baga.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to SC Braga, trained there with the U23s and U19s, and they wanted to sign me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came back to sign the contract, I got arrested.
Oh,
Yeah,
unlucky.
because I overstayed in Europe, the paperwork and
Oh,
stuff like that. Yeah,
okay, okay. That.
overstayed by a month, I think, when we were training with Braga. And well, that came and fell through. I came back home, fixed my paperwork, and I signed with a third division team in Portugal,
In Portugal.
Villarreal. Yeah. And from there, I was just moving around in Portugal. And well, last year, I really got my breakthrough with
Mm-hmm.
um with the national team playing well, and the coach from St. Johnstone saw me through Dan Phillip,
Okay.
put in a good word and okay, St. John in Scotland.
Okay. And who inspired you the most being a footballer in Trinidad and Tobago?
I would say my father.
Father? Your father used to ball?
Yeah, he played football, but not like
Big.
football. Yeah,
Uh,
not like yeah, but I mean like pushing me to where I am.
mm-hmm.
Father have a big role to play in that, carrying me to training.
Mm.
And then he come and watch all the training sessions. Not a training session he missing.
If you one thing I notice with like national team players in particular, I get to notice that parents very important when it comes to like, the development of the player. And
Or,
you just don't need a support system there to just carry you to the next level now. But I noticed that like I never see matter of fact, it's very rare that I ever see like somebody who didn't have like their parents showing up for them every training session and everything there. I never see that where they make it. So I think parents in particular, if you're listening this, make sure and give your children support. What does it mean to wear the red, white, and black for you in
I mean,
the
ever since growing up, that's always been my dream.
mm,
That's the pinnacle of your footballing career for me. Playing with your national team or taking your country to a World Cup. That's the pinnacle for me. And I've always been behind the scenes trying to get into the national team. And when 2023, when I finally got my chance, I was like, I have to make it count and keep myself there.
mm. And speaking about the World Cup, we had to touch on the World Cup qualifiers. Like how the lads taking it right now? How like do they feel like they have a chance?
Yeah, obviously, I think we're quite confident as a group that we can go through. We just have to do the work. That it
Mhm.
boils down to how bad we want it. We have to do the work.
Mhm. I actually believe in you guys. Like for some weird reason, I truly believe in you guys. Like I seen the growth that taking place. Like from I want to talk too much on the past, but we
Yeah,
see vast improvement, and I seen a mentality change because them games, against Haiti and Saudi Arabia, them games in the past probably would have been under some pressure, but we held we own and we showed some fight to get back into them games there. So I give credit to you guys, and I truly believe in you guys. But I hope that you guys, taking the necessary procedures to learn more about the Curacao team in particular, because the
yeah,
Curacao team we played, yeah, they is not the Curacao team today.
yeah, true.
Yeah, and Jamaica, of course, we always be the and you know, we don't know much about Bermuda, but we still have to do research, especially with the
Yeah,
artificial ground. Because I remember
yeah.
in particular was Alvin Jones. I think he was complaining about the artificial ground. So what do you think about that? You played in that game, right? Against Curacao when they beat you
Yeah,
guys 5-3.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I play the second half. Playing on the artificial is different from the grass. The ball is be bouncing more.
Mm,
The legs feel a little heavier sometimes too. So yeah, just basically have to adapt to it.
mm. Well, let's hope. But yeah, because right now all the fans looking at you guys and with you guys in particular, you guys bring back a lot of hype into Trinidad and Tobago football. I was there in the Hasty Crawford Stadium with the St. Kitts game, but it
Yeah,
was crazy. 20,000 people. I thought it was more. I really thought it was
yeah,
more because the streets were packed.
yeah.
So listen, man, good luck to you guys all the way though. So how do
Shit.
you mentally prepare for a big match?
Me, I don't really any game. Even if I go into play in the savannah, I prepare the same way. Like
Mm,
I picture myself doing stuff on the field, like different situations, what I'm gonna do.
mm,
Always, as I listen to music, I listen to gospel and reggae.
mm.
Jamil is my favorite artist, so I always
Okay,
listen to a
respect.
lot about him. I just listen to him before the game, and that's while I listen to music, I just picturing situations on the pitch, what I'm gonna do.
Okay. And as a left back, who has been your toughest opponent to date?
To beat as a left back. Hmm. I would say Nicholas Kuhn from Celtic.
From who?
He plays Celtic in
With
Scotland.
Celtic. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't really follow the Scottish league as much, but
Yeah,
well, by the way, have you played against Cyril Dessers?
yeah, I did.
Well, what do you think about Cyril Dessers? Because he linked to come with my team high captains.
Nah, he's a really good player, really good striker, smart.
Smart. Okay.
Yeah.
But I fans heard it here first. Like Andre Raymond played against him and he said, hey, Papa Striker. So what area of your game that you think that you should work on currently?
Um, the area I think I should work on is probably my communication.
Communication.
And I'm a dead left footer, so I need to work on right
Ah
footing.
man. That be a curse for left footers. Left footers will be so talented, but
Yeah,
they just tend to never be I don't know if that's the right word to call it ambidextrous with your feet, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they
So
just always tend to have that walking stick as a right foot, like, unfortunately. But they always have a very good left foot. They can always kick the ball. So walk us through your proudest moments as a footballer.
proudest moment as a footballer, I would say signing my real first contract.
Mm.
Making my family proud where I could, help them more and stuff like that.
That was a good thing to be able to help your family and thing, especially as a man, We always has had a pressure to be, a provider. So, okay, so who was your favorite team growing up?
My favorite team, Barcelona.
Barca. Okay,
Yeah,
respect.
Barcelona's my favorite team.
And who was your favorite player?
Messi.
Yes, well, as usual, everybody like Messi, Ronaldo, uh,
But in my position, Marcelo.
Marcelo.
I
Okay,
like
I
Marcelo.
respect that. I respect that. Um, Do you see any youngster that we should look out for?
I haven't been really watching like Trinidad
ATT
football.
Premier League.
I haven't really been watching, but like the few games I watched, Simon Jablotte has some good youngsters.
So like
And
Sween
some
and CK,
Zoom.
uh
Yeah,
some
those
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
there's some good players.
All right, respect. What do you love the most about being a Trinidad Tobagonian?
The culture, food,
Mm.
people, just vibes all around.
So what is a go-to meal that you have to have like a cheat meal or and it's a local meal?
I mean, roti.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're from Chaguanas. Um,
Mm.
how has that community shaped you?
I mean, I wasn't really like outside like other people. Like my
Mm.
parents were not very strict. So,
That good.
but yeah, but
Wrong with that.
once I go out there, the people they push you. They try to make sure once they see you're playing football and they try to make sure you stay on the right path.
Mm.
That's the kind of community we have. They push the youngsters to stay off the streets and do the right thing.
Who is an underrated player in the Trinidad Tobago national team?
Underrated, I would say. The underrated player. For me, I would say Andre Raymond.
Yeah, proper box man.
Yeah.
I can hear Passad. Even though the past games them prior to the Saudi Arabia game, I thought he was off the pace, but he actually catch back himself in the Saudi Arabia game. So shout out Andre
Mm.
Passad, man. If you weren't a footballer, what would you be? What career party would I choose?
Wait, that's a tough one because I never saw myself
Being not
doing
other
that
than footballer?
than football.
Ah,
That's a tough one. But when I was young, I like planes and stuff, pilot. So I
so be a
probably try
pilot.
to be a pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us something that the fans wouldn't know about you.
Hmm. The fans would know about me. I like to cook.
Okay.
I like,
Well, wait,
I
what
like
is your
cooking.
favorite go-to meal?
I like rice and peas. Like
Rice and
curry,
peas.
let's take chicken. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Good vibes. Right. So, what advice would you give to the young footballers them to, in Chantibigo in particular, to make it pro?
I think in Trinidad and Tobago, we think it's like easy to reach out there. And
Mm,
when you reach out there, they think it should be a better result, but that's not the case. I
mm,
think you have to go through a fair amount of obstacles and challenges each and every day to
mm,
be at the top.
mm.
And I think we just need to prepare ourselves mentally because we have the talent, we have
Yep.
everything. You see
Facts.
that mental part, that
Mm,
discipline, the persistence, that never give up. We need more of that
mm,
because we'll reach there, and when it's time for a breakthrough, then they'd
mm.
want to give up. So I think that's one of the things we need more. You know,
Yeah.
you have to have a strong foundation. Come from a spiritual family praying.
Mm.
So you have to believe that things gonna work out for you in the end.
And do you watch did you watch cartoons back in the day?
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
your favorite cartoon growing up?
What's your favorite cartoon, man? Huh. I'd say Teen Titans, right? Teen Titans.
Oh, Teen Titans was lit.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That good vibes. And from other sports, what was like your favorite person from like a other sporting discipline?
I like Floyd. Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, but he
Floyd Mayweather.
retired now, so
Oh,
yeah.
so I watch boxing.
Like, yeah, I like boxing and UFC and things.
I like boxing too. I just dive deep into boxing. But actually, it does do appetite. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, thanks for coming out for this interview. We really appreciate it. You being a professional footballer, you always just have a busy schedule. But if it is, you could leave your Instagram handle, that would be nice for the people them to follow you and see more of you.
You can find me on Instagram at Andre_Raymond 23.
Okay, well, you heard it here first, peeps. This has been Andre Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. Make sure and look out for him for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers, where we have a chance to get to the 2026 World Cup. Peace out. This has been Scully. I've been Andre Raymond. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.